the football summer transfer market can be a very exciting time if you are a fan of a particular club, or if you're someone who just enjoys watching rumors and whatnot fly around like crazy, because oftentimes that is one of the things that characterizes the transfer market. You're going to see news and reports and rumors spread out all over the place, and at times it can be a little hard figuring out what to believe and what not to believe. Luckily for you guys, we're doing the hard work and tracking some of the more credible transfer rumors, and that's exactly what it is that we're going to bring to you in this very video. Thank you for joining us on Sports Today. My name is Shane Dias, and today we're going to discuss a few interesting football transfer rumors that are being reported far and wide by even some of the most credible sources. Now, first off, we're starting off with Jules Kounde, and the Sevilla defender has been a man in demand. Even last year, remember, Chelsea were bidding or looking to bid big in order to secure his services. They were rebuffed in the end, but he remained their number one transfer target, and they are reportedly back in for him. But there is a bit of a problem, because one of the clubs who are looking to hijack that move are Barcelona. Now, you'd remember that Chelsea and Barcelona were involved in a bit of tug of war for Rafinha, even though Rafinha didn't really want to join Chelsea, but Chelsea were in serious considerations in terms of, they had agreed a fee. They were even set to hold a medical, but that medical never happened. Barcelona came in and got the player that they wanted, and the player got the club that he wanted. With Kounde, it's a little less clear-cut what exactly is going to happen, because there are multiple news reports and each of them seem to be saying something different. Some are saying that Chelsea are in pole position. Some are saying that Barcelona might just be favourites to hijack the transfer. Either way, it would be interesting to keep an eye out on this move, because again, either way, there is going to be a lot of money spent, because the reported amount would be in around the 50 million euro mark. So that's big money, and Sevilla would definitely do a lot worse than agreeing to sell one of their best players for a sum that big. Now, moving on, we are looking at Manchester United, and new manager Erik ten Hag has been keen to add a few new signings into the club for very obvious reasons. There is a dire need for players to actually come in, especially because they've actually lost a few players on free transfers. One of the players who's being linked most commonly to Manchester United now is winger Antony from Ajax. Again, not much of a surprise, considering quite a few Ajax players have been linked to United, and they've already agreed a fee to sign defender Lisandro Martinez, and are also being linked to Frankie de Jong, a former Ajax player currently at Barcelona, who was also managed by Ten Hag. Now, the latest is, of course, that Antony is a player that Ten Hag wants to be reunited with at Old Trafford. However, news reports claim that Ajax are willing to hold firm on any bids that might come their way from Old Trafford, because they would rather wait and keep him on their books for at least another year before they think of actually selling him. Whether United can test that resolve or whether Ajax will hold firm, well, that's something that remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, United are looking to make statement signings, and they could possibly do a lot worse than the tricky and very flair-like player in Antony. Now, moving on from, of course, Manchester United to Manchester City, and they are in the market for a left back, having sold backup left back Alexander Zinchenko to Arsenal. Their main target is, of course, Martin Cucurella of Brighton and Hove Albion. However, there's just one small problem. As of now, their first bid for Cucurella has been turned down. In fact, sources within Brighton have reportedly termed the offer of around £30 million as laughable. Ouch! Talk about a burn without actually, putting in much effort. But the simple fact of the matter is, we note for a fact that Brighton can and will often hold out to get the fees that they desire. Remember, even last summer, they rebuffed multiple offers from Arsenal for defender Ben White, and they only struck a deal when it became clear that Arsenal were willing to pay exactly what they valued Ben White at. This time around too, they value Cucurella at in and around somewhere the £50 million mark. So unless City are willing to stump up that kind of cash, Brighton will most likely hold firm. So keep an eye out. I don't think we've seen the last of this particular saga yet. Cucurella might just end up being in the blue half of Manchester before the summer transfer window closes. And speaking of players who would be looking to make the move up to slightly bigger clubs, Newcastle United's Saint-Maximin remains one of the most enigmatic talents in the Premier League right now. Yes, his end product can be a little bit frustrating at times, but there's no doubt over the fact that there's a lot of potential there, and he's a very silky smooth dribbler, someone who's also adept at playing Premier League football. So it's a little surprise at this point that there are two clubs, Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea, who are being linked or who have apparently made inquiries about whether or not Saint-Maximin would be available for sale. Again, this one was a slightly surprising transfer rumor if you ask me, because I didn't think that either Spurs or Chelsea need to be bolstering their forward line at this point. In fact, both would probably do well to add another defender before the transfer window closes, but I guess they think that there's maybe some chance of striking a bargain fee, because, you know, Saint-Maximin has done relatively well and there's a clear upside to having a player like him. So whether or not this story goes anywhere, we'll keep you updated either which way. Last but not the least, let's talk about Luis Suarez. Again, Suarez is a legend of the game, despite the fact that his off-field controversies have often overshadowed him. Yet the simple fact of the matter is that this legend of the game is currently a free agent. Remember, he had been let go of essentially in a free by Barcelona, joined Atletico Madrid, helped them win the title, but his second season at the club was a little bit underwhelming, as it became clear that he had lost some of his pace and physicality quite clearly, and that maybe, just maybe, he needed to be looking to make a move to a league where it wouldn't be as physically demanding on him. And that seems to be a move in the offing, because the reports are now claiming that Suarez, who currently doesn't have a club, will most likely return back home to Uruguay, and not just to any club but to Nacional, the club where he first got his break in the 2005-06 season. Now, if it happens, of course, it would be a major homecoming of sorts for the Uruguayan legend. And of course, considering the fact that at this moment it seems that he may not quite have too many sweeters in European football, he could do a lot worse than making a move back to Uruguay, where his star power and in fact his popularity remains at an all-time high, despite, obviously, as I said, him being a little bit of a controversial character. And that's it from this latest update from me in terms of the football transfer rumors and what exactly could be happening in the coming days. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you enjoy what it is that we do, please don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, leave us a comment telling us if you've heard of any more interesting news or football reports or football transfer rumors that you may have come across. We might just end up finding something interesting there. Last but not the least, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon so that you know every single time it is we're going live or uploading a new video for you guys. As always, thank you for joining us. I've been Shane Reyes. I'll see you very soon.